men do not want to lose their power.
Men and women would never be the same.
I would recommend men to be feminists because the whole structure of gender inequality is also harming us, harming the male generation.
So after you aware this, you can make some changes.
We talked about stereotypes. Have you ever been treated differently because of your gender?
Throughout my life, there is always gender discrimination because in Chinese family, like I would say a lot of family have more or less, they have the mindset of preferring boys more than girls.
Like traditional,
Yeah,
I guess it's
重男
about
轻
like
女, something like that.
traditional family. It's not about like Chinese or Western country. I knew a lot of like Western countries, like their traditional parents also like might be willing to have the voice
Yes.
more. So
Yes. So in my family, actually my parents are good. They don't think like that, but maybe my parents' parents, they do have these kind of concerns. But very unfortunately, I'm a girl. But I wouldn't say unfortunately for me, but very unfortunately for them that I'm a girl and they can't do anything about it. So I also have a nephew who is my father's sister's daughter. So I'm like 孙女 and she's like 外孙女. But actually we are both like the granddaughter of my grandparents, but they treated us very differently because like the 外孙女, so they think it's okay. If you're a girl, it's okay. So we will love you as much as a boy. But if you're a 孙女, if you are like if I'm my father's daughter, I shouldn't be a daughter. I should be a son.
yeah. To inherit your like last name for
Yeah.
the.
So me and my cousin, like we're both girls, but we are treated differently. And also, yeah, many cases from my childhood, but when I grow up, like I can prove myself capable in many ways, like academic or some or like social practices. So I would say the phenomenon on me, the gender discrimination is actually becoming less and less. Yeah, because I have a chance to prove that I'm capable. Um, I have my own personal value and I should be proud of by anyone. Yeah.
Some company just hire the women, more likely to hire the man rather than the woman. What do you think? Have you ever like faced such issue?
Yes, definitely. Especially as you mentioned in the recruiting process. So, I've seen companies that asking me, like recruiters asking me, are you single? Like asking me about my marital status, and also ask me, do you have a boyfriend? So, so if I say yes, they would keep asking. So where is your boyfriend? Is your boyfriend in this city? So if he's not in the city, we will go with him. We will leave, and then yeah, and we heard a lot about like all these questions about pregnancy, marital status, stuff like that. So before you enter into the workplace, you already feel the pressure, right? I understand that every recruiters would like to minimize their risks and to minimize their like turnover rate. But to be honest, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be interested in this company if I'm asked this question like before I join.
So when they asking you those kind of things, how did you respond?
I would just be honest. Yeah. If they don't recruit me, that it's fine.
You didn't think like it's our privacy, and you just tell like them.
Oh yeah, I get you, I get you. So for me, I think it's fine that I tell you, but to be honest, this is another issue. Like besides gender discrimination, there is also the privacy issue. Like all this privacy information actually about your personal life, it's actually unrelated to your work. So it shouldn't be asked. It shouldn't be part of the interview process.
So we already talked about gender discrimination. What do you think about the reason of this?
I would
Do you
say,
wanna go first?
in a simple way, men do not want to lose their power, because they have to accept that they cannot, to have such order to their wives and daughters, saying that stay at home, get married, feed your children, have more and more next generations to finish your duties. They cannot say that. But in ancient times, they can. Because there's no job opportunities for females at all. They have no choice. But males, they can. They can do such they can be warriors, they can be soldiers, they can be farmers. But except for mothers and wives and daughters, what can female do? There's a limited list of choice. But right now it's completely different. If you are for example, dentist, a female dentist can do quite a good job. But a female soldier consideration, when you consider the Cold, war, when you having wars against your enemies with sword and with shields, the differences between your biological systems like male and female, you're not that, you don't have such strength to fight against a male soldiers. But right now it's completely different. Men in this society, they realize that, I know that, everybody around us know that, you guys know that, girls know that. But I would like to say that men would like not to give it up. They just don't want to give it up. They will say that, okay, yes, maybe you are also a good dentist, but in some days you'll be pregnant. And that 10 months, I'm doing better. And afterwards, you have to feed your children. And that period of time, I'm doing better. And you're a mother, right? So in our culture, or they will say in our traditions, in our what, blah, blah, blah. So you would like to, or you have to do more, to take more responsibilities. That period of time, I as a male dentist, I'm doing better. So they have all those excuses. I would say that's excuses because, for example, in some Western developed countries, if a wife is is doing his period of pregnancies, male employees they also have to take such vacations with his wife. In short, I would say that gender equality is an issue which strictly connected with the development of our economy, of our society. And right now, since there's a very great progress towards, our goal of full equality, but still there's a long period because we're not that developed.
Some people said men and women can never be equal because of the differences between the physical issues. What do you guys think?
Well, I think there is no absolute equality in this world. Another reason for the stereotyping thing is about the social division of work. Because in the previous time, as we all have mentioned in previous time, that people have different division of men and women have different division of work. One is at home and one is outside. But nowadays, I think the division of work has changed a lot. So I think there is no absolute equality, right? And then from the physical point of view and also from the social division of work point of view, men and women would never be the same. So since we are different, so there must be differences in all aspects. But the thing is that I think the thing is that we should be more inclusive and show more respect. And then there should be some things especially designed for men, and there should also be something especially designed for women. And also, there should be something designed for those who are not men and women. Yes, who have different like identity. Yes, gender minority. So I think this is the best way is to have like customized and specialized treatment to each like groups, whether they're minor or major or not. So the best way is not to treat everybody in the same way. The way is to treat everybody as the way they should be treated.
I think I really like your point of customized because, for example, in Olympics, all the sport games, we have like male football, female football. We have like women's swimming and men's swimming, like swimming competitions. So if you consider this as not or inequalities, I don't think so, at all, because we have to accept the existence of differences. This is very important. And another thing I would like to say is that since we have a word or the concept of majorities and minorities, maybe you can see this as a comparison between the number or the populations in such different groups. For example, we would say ethnic minorities in the United States to refer to Asian Americans or African Americans. But this is just about differences. It's not about like Asian Americans and African Americans. They are minorities, so they would suffer from more discriminations, or they will enjoy less like respect or things like that. This is a result, but should not be seen as anything. I would say that any consideration should not start in such lines or such directions, because people always think that differences means that if we are different, so my values compared with your values, or my status of living, my standard of living, my access towards resources. In short, I would say my interest against your interest. But this should not be the same how it works. We're different doesn't mean at all that our interests, against each other. This is not about equality or not. This is about differences and similarities. You're not similar with me doesn't mean that our interest is against your interest. So I would say, yeah, male and female, maybe with the development of technology, I don't know. But right now, I'll say, yes, completely different. But I'll say we're heading towards a more equal society with the support of everybody who have such ideas of make it a better place and a more equal place.
So you guys are both really optimistic about the future of the gender equality?
I think we said that it takes time. It takes time.
Yeah.
But I think nowadays, like more and more people have realized that this is a problem. So after you aware this, you can make some changes. Like at least you can stop being silent and do some and advocate for your group, and then expressing what you want and fighting for it if you have the power.
I would say that the awareness of the existence of the problem is maybe it's not that powerful for the change of the current situation. What's really interesting is that I would recommend men to be feminists, because the whole structure of gender inequality is also harming us. I mean, the male generation, the male population and the next generations. So I think people should have realized that this discrimination, this such unequal circumstances and phenomena in our social, all those problems would harm your future children, would harm the next generations of your own families. You say, I don't think nowadays is a time to say that I have nothing to do this. No one's have nothing to do with nothing, Everything's related to you or your future or your potential futures of your next generation. So let's get started. to have the awareness of the existence of the problem, to have the awareness of you have potential like links or relations to people around you. Yes, I think we're heading to the more optimistic future.